Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Simple English Talks. I'm so happy you're here with us today. It's always such a wonderful feeling to start a new episode, knowing that you've taken time out of your day to learn with us. Whether this is your first time listening or you've been with us for a while, welcome, and thank you for being here.
Hey there, great to be back. Every time we sit down to record a new episode, I get excited because the topics we cover are things I genuinely wish someone had explained to me earlier. And today's topic? It's one of the most requested topics we've ever had on Simple English Talks. So many of you wrote to us about this.
That's so true. Actually, a listener left a comment a few weeks ago that really stayed with me. She said, "I can watch English movies without subtitles. I understand almost everything. But the moment someone talks to me in English, I completely freeze." And I thought, yes, that's exactly what we need to talk about today.
Today's topic is why you understand English but can't speak it and how to fix it. This is something almost every English learner experiences, and the good news is there are real, clear reasons why it happens and real, practical solutions. By the end of this episode, you're going to understand exactly what's going on in your brain, and more importantly, what you can do about it.
Here's a question for you before we start. Have you ever sat in an English conversation, understood every single word, but then felt completely stuck when it was your turn to speak? You knew what you wanted to say, but somehow the words just wouldn't come out. Write yes or no in the comments right now. We read every single one, and it helps us know we're covering the right topics for you.
And of course, if you haven't subscribed to Simple English Talks yet, please do it now. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a new episode. We post new content regularly to help you speak English more naturally and confidently. Okay, let's get into it.
So let's start with the big question. Why does this happen? Why can you understand English but struggle to speak it? The first and most important thing to know is this. Listening and speaking are actually two completely different skills. They use different parts of your brain, and they need different kinds of practice. Most learners spend the majority of their time reading and listening, which is great, but speaking needs its own separate, focused practice.
That's such a key point. Think of it this way. Imagine you watch professional basketball every single weekend. You know the rules perfectly. You can see when a player makes a smart move, and you can see mistakes right away. But if someone handed you a basketball and said, "Okay, now you play," that would feel very different, wouldn't it? Knowing something and doing something are two very separate things, and English is exactly the same.
There's actually a name for this difference in language learning. It's called passive knowledge versus active knowledge. Passive knowledge is everything you can understand. Words you recognize when you hear them, grammar patterns you understand when you read them. Active knowledge is everything you can produce. Words you use when you speak. Sentences you build in real time, on the spot. Most learners have lots of passive knowledge, but not enough active knowledge. And that gap between the two, that's exactly what we're going to close today.
Here's something I want you to try. Think of a word in English that you understand perfectly when you read it or hear it, but have you ever actually used that word when you were speaking? If you can think of a word like that, write it in the comments. It's a really powerful exercise to start noticing this difference in yourself. You might be surprised how many words live in your passive knowledge that haven't made it to your active knowledge yet.
There's one more important reason why people freeze when they speak, and it's called the processing speed problem. When you're reading or watching a video, you can slow everything down. You can pause, rewind, reread a sentence, take a moment to think. But in a real conversation, everything happens fast. Your brain has to understand what the other person just said. Decide what you want to respond. Find the right vocabulary. Put the words in the right grammatical order, and then actually say them, all at the same time. That is a lot of work happening at once.
And when you add nervousness on top of all that, it gets even harder. I still remember the first time I tried to have a real conversation in a language I was learning. I understood everything the other person said, but when I opened my mouth, it felt like my brain had just switched off. Nothing came out. And you know what? That is completely normal. It happens to almost every learner. The key is to understand why it happens, so we can fix it.
All right, so now that we understand the problem, let's talk about what you can actually do to fix it. And the first thing, this might sound obvious, but it's really important. You need to practice speaking, not just listening. So many learners avoid speaking practice because it feels uncomfortable, even a little scary. They think, I'll start speaking when my English is good enough. But here's the truth. Your English gets good enough by speaking, not before it.
Exactly. And here's something that might surprise you. You don't need a conversation partner to practice speaking. There are powerful techniques you can use completely on your own. One of the best is called shadowing. Shadowing means you listen to a native speaker, from a podcast, a YouTube video, or a movie, and you repeat what they say either at the same time or right after them. You try to copy their pronunciation, their speed, their rhythm, their emotion. It trains your mouth and your brain to work together, which is exactly what speaking requires.
Here's how to do it step by step. First, choose something short, maybe just 1 minute of audio at your level, something not too fast. Second, listen once without repeating. Just understand the meaning and get familiar with it. Third, listen again, and this time, repeat every sentence out loud. And I mean really out loud. Not in your head, not quietly under your breath. Your mouth and your voice need the workout too, not just your brain. Try to match the speaker's voice as closely as you can. Their speed, their pauses, their intonation.
And here's another technique that really works, and I personally love this one. It's called self-talk. Self-talk means you narrate your own life in English. When you're making breakfast in the morning, you think in English. I'm putting bread in the toaster. I'm waiting for it. Okay, it's done. I'm adding butter. When you're walking to the bus, you describe what you see around you. It sounds a little strange at first, but it forces your brain to actively produce English in real time. And the best part is, you can do it anywhere, anytime. No partner needed, no internet needed.
Your challenge this week, and write this down, is to try self-talk for just 5 minutes every day. You don't have to talk about anything complicated or impressive. Just describe what you're doing, what you're looking at, how you feel. Start simple. And then tell us in the comments, what was the hardest part? Was it finding the right words? Was it remembering to actually do it? We really want to know how it goes for you.
The key thing to remember from this section is this. Speaking is a physical skill as much as it is a mental one. Just like playing guitar or learning to swim, your body needs to practice the movements. So use your voice. Use it every day, even for just a few minutes. Every time you speak English out loud, you're building a path in your brain that makes the next time a little bit easier.
Now, let's talk about something that often doesn't get enough attention: confidence. Because honestly, for a lot of learners, the real problem isn't grammar or vocabulary. It's fear. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of sounding strange. Fear of not being understood. And that fear is one of the most powerful blockers in language learning anywhere in the world.
Strategy number 2. Change how you think about mistakes. In school, mistakes felt terrible. Red marks on your paper, points taken off your grade. But in language learning, mistakes are genuinely how you improve. Every mistake gives you information. It shows you exactly what to practice next. Try to think of a mistake not as a failure, but as a signal. When you say something wrong and someone corrects you, that's actually a gift. Your brain now knows exactly what to fix.
And strategy number 3. This is my personal favorite. Focus on communication, not perfection. The whole purpose of speaking English is to be understood. That's it. Native speakers don't speak perfectly either. They make grammar mistakes. They forget words. They repeat themselves. They say and constantly. What makes communication work is not flawless grammar. It's the confidence to keep going and the clarity to get your message across. So give yourself permission to be imperfect.
Here's a little practice right now. Do this with us. Say this sentence out loud, wherever you are. I am learning English and I'm getting better every day. Say it out loud. Don't be shy. No one can hear you. How did it feel? Was it a tiny bit uncomfortable? That's actually a good sign. Discomfort means you're pushing yourself forward. Write in the comments if you did it. We want to celebrate that moment with you.
Okay, let's talk about some common mistakes that learners make when trying to improve their speaking. And before I say anything else, we've made all of these mistakes ourselves. So please don't feel bad if you recognize yourself here.
The first and most common mistake is translating in your head. This means you think of what you want to say in your first language first, and then you translate it word by word into English. The problem is that this is very slow, much too slow for real conversation, and it often produces unnatural sentences because languages don't translate word for word. Some phrases that sound perfectly normal in your language will sound strange or confusing when translated directly into English.
The fix for this is to start thinking in English directly, even for tiny things. When your alarm goes off in the morning, instead of thinking, "I'm so tired," in your language, try to think it in English right away. Start with simple, everyday thoughts and build from there. Over time, and it does take time, your brain starts to bypass the translation step. You start to think in English, not through your language.
The second big mistake is waiting until your English is perfect before you speak. We mentioned this earlier, but it's worth saying again because it's such a powerful trap. There is no perfect level where you suddenly feel ready. Fluency comes from speaking, not from waiting until you're ready to speak. Start right now, at whatever level you're at. Imperfect speaking, with real mistakes, real hesitations, real awkward pauses, is 100 times more valuable than perfect silence.
And the third mistake is practicing alone too passively. Only listening, only reading, and never actually producing English. You can spend years listening to podcasts, and your speaking might barely improve because you're never exercising the right muscle. Speaking needs active output. So make it a daily habit, even if it's just 5 minutes. 5 minutes of speaking out loud every day will do more for your confidence than 5 hours of passive listening.
Remember, mistakes are proof that you're trying, and trying is the only way to improve. Every single person who speaks English fluently today was once exactly where you are right now. Write in the comments, which of these 3 mistakes do you relate to the most? I'd love to know which one feels most familiar.
All right, let's do a quick activity together. I'm going to give you 2 options for each situation, and you choose which one sounds more natural in English. Ready? Situation 1. You want to get better at speaking English. Do you say, A, I want to be improving my English speaking? Or B, I want to improve my English speaking? Which one is correct? Think about it for a second before we tell you.
The correct answer is B. I want to improve my English speaking. After the phrase want to, we always use the base form of the verb. No ing, no ed, just the simple base form. So it's I want to improve, I want to practice, I want to learn. This is a very common grammar mistake, and it's easy to fix once you're aware of it. Say the correct sentence out loud right now. I want to improve my English speaking.
Great. Here's situation 2. You're deciding how to practice speaking. Do you say, A, I practice speaking in my head every day? Or B, I practice speaking out loud every day? Which one will actually help your speaking improve faster?
It's B, speaking out loud. Practicing in your head builds your thinking skills, but it doesn't train your voice, your pronunciation, or your speed. Your mouth needs real movement. Your voice needs real air. So always, always say it out loud. Now here is your final challenge for today. Make your own sentence, something true about you, using I want to plus a verb. For example, I want to speak English at work, or I want to travel to Canada. Say it out loud, then write it in the comments. We'd love to read your sentences.
Wow, we covered so much in today's episode. I'm really proud of you for staying with us all the way through. Let's do a quick recap of everything we talked about today. We started by understanding the real reason behind the gap, the difference between passive knowledge, which is understanding, and active knowledge, which is producing. And we learned that speaking is a separate skill that needs its own practice.
Then we looked at 3 really practical strategies you can start using this week. First, practice speaking actively using techniques like shadowing and self-talk. Second, build your confidence by starting small, reframing mistakes as learning signals, and focusing on communication over perfection. And third, avoid the common traps that hold so many learners back, especially translating in your head and waiting until you feel ready.